A lot of people have asked me that, is loving someone without any reason possible? Because when we are in a relationship, or when we are even married, we just have so many expectations. We tend to work from these expectations, that whether we are getting the same kind of reciprocation, the same kind of love that we are giving, that we are providing to them, or whether the other is really making an effort. So these things are fine, in modern day relationships and even modern day marriages. It's very practical, because if the other one is not really reciprocating the love that we have for them, or we are sharing the way we are caring for them, it's really not worth it. Because in this process, it's like a trade. It's a quid pro quo game. So we are giving them love only if they are giving us back. So if we are moving in this view, if we are moving in this way, then yes, loving someone without any reason is not possible. Because our love is really, really dependent on our expectations, on how the other treats us, on how the other behaves with us. So it's not really coming from the ultimate source. It's coming from the grounding of the mind, I would say. It's a kind of love, but it's not really the real love. It's just a kind of a relationship, like a business. And when we are in love, we just allow the other, to behave in his own way. But at the same time, our mind, which is programmed for our survival, just hits back that the other one is not reciprocating it. We should leave them, we should get away from them, and it's not working completely. So all in all, I would say this kind of a relationship thing, it cannot really work. Because in the long term, the moment will come when this likingness, this trade, this whole business thing would collapse. So if you really love someone, then literally allow that love to evolve into the unconditional loving nature. So instead of just being in love with someone, be love itself. And the shift from being in love to being love itself takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of grounding. Because when someone is being in love, when someone has fallen in love with someone, we are literally accepting them till a time. Because love is very momentary. The mind will come back, the mind will take the charge once this whole feeling and this arousal has settled down. But this is not the case in unconditional love. Unconditional love is very fearless, and it really just doesn't need even the permission to love. Whereas when you are in a relationship, you start by like you're saying that I like you, I feel attracted towards you, so this kind of it's a kind of really not actually love. It's just the very starting point, or I would say it's just at the very periphery of what really love is. So I'm not saying that unconditional love will not start in this way. It will start. It can be an attraction. It can be just being with someone we feel at home. So these kind of things may start in this way. But if we just stay in till with just the attraction part, or with just the likings about the other person, we are not really growing. So even if something starts at just at the level of lust or at just the level of attraction, it must evolve into something greater. It must evolve into something more, you know, a more emotional intimacy, a more heart to heart connection. And from there on, the connection of the souls can really work. Only when the connection of the soul happens, the emergence of unconditional love uh, is possible. And once that kind of love arises, you just don't love the person, you don't just love your beloved or your partner. You start loving everything. You start loving every being. You start loving this whole stars, this whole world, this whole existence. Then love becomes your nature. It becomes an inherent quality. Now you're not being in love. Now you are being love itself. So this is the difference. Being in love is very limited. We are loving towards a person, and at the same time then we are very harsh or even rude with others. So that is very limited love. And this limitation will really affect your partner in the long run, because this kind of limited love just cannot remain for eternity. It will come to an end. Only unconditional love can remain for eternity. That is the only possibility if anyone wants to be in a relationship with someone for your whole life. And there are couples, there are people who are in love, who are living this way for the past 50, 60 years. And you can feel the very joy, the very presence of God in those couples. And let me tell you, even when a person left them, so XY, for instance, someone has died, their partner has died, they don't really feel that the other one has died, because they have got connected so much between themselves that they just don't feel that the other one has died. And it really just doesn't shatter them. It just say, okay, it's part of life. It's just the other's body has left it. But we are one. But this kind of love, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of I would say burning, because love is all about burning yourself. And it's really not possible for most people, I would say majority of people, because we are driven by the mind. We are not driven by the heart, especially when a person is the masculine is moving, not the divine masculine, just a masculine figure. Or the man is centered in logic, whereas the woman is centered in emotions and love and kindness. So if you say you really love someone, then you must love them unconditionally. And once you start loving them unconditionally, the reciprocation will happen on its own, because the such love is very contagious. The other will feel this love, even if you are not trying, even if you are not just saying anything. The other will feel secure, the other will feel safe. Yes, that this person is fine, this person is good. Now you're not really making an effort. It's just the overflowing joy which is coming from within you. And it's not really you who is working. So it's not our limited selves from which this love is arising. It's from the very core of our beings, from the very home or the abode of God, that this love is arising. So this love will overflow, and this love will not only cherish and even provide for your partner. It will provide for your partner, of course, but it will cherish everything, the whole existence. Being in the presence of a lover just changes you, just kind of calms you, even Your mind just subdues and everything just feels so calm and blissful. And the other who is feeling this whole unconditional love, it just doesn't feel, it's completely effortless. And this kind of love, this kind of reasonless love, happens on its own. So it's really by God's grace that this happens. It's really like that. Also, when you love someone unconditionally, there is no question of trust, no question of loyalty, no question of anything. It's just so calming. It's very difficult, I acknowledge this. That's really, really difficult to love someone, to become so much vulnerable in a situation and to burn yourself in this situation. But if you are feeling this way, if you just feel that, okay, this love is really enhancing you, really helping you to grow, and you're becoming a better person, you are really growing, you're becoming peaceful, you're becoming more accepting, then literally acknowledge that this love is not, we're not really loving the other, we are just being surrendered to love itself. And when someone is in unconditional love, he or she acknowledges that the other is just the very manifestation of the one Lord. So the other is not really different from me. When such love arises, non-duality happens on its own. No practice is required. No any kind of scriptures or any guidance is required. It just happens spontaneously. And it's so powerful. It's so powerful that even when the mind tries to, stop the heart from moving, because mind is programmed for survival and the heart is for, salvation. The power of the heart, the power of such love will overpower the mind, will kind of subdue. So there are high chances when somebody loves unconditionally someone, that they are ready to sacrifice themselves for the other. I'm not saying do this, I'm just sharing with you what unconditional love means. And in unconditional love, the person, I am is not important, the other becomes important. So it doesn't mean that you have to suffer yourself for the other. It's not like that. It's just that you want their growth, you want their betterment in every possible way. And it will be very, 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 very harsh for the mind. I understand, because our minds are not programmed in this way. Minds are full of logic, full of calculations. They are made for our survival. They are very helpful, because if we need to survive in this body mind, the ego must act. The ego must act. And people think that post enlightenment a lot of things change and the ego will not arise. No, I would say that everything may arise, all kinds of thoughts, all kinds of calculations, all kinds of egoic tendencies might arise. But the only difference is, once a person is really stable in his true nature, he will not be affected by them. He can simply choose, then the mind becomes the servant. The mind becomes the servant. Before that, we are a servant, of the mind. After realizing, after really abiding in ourselves, we just can decide what we really want, instead of just moving along with every thought. We can choose, we can allow every thought to come up and go. And the reason I'm talking on this topic is a friend of mine who was in a relationship for some time, and he said that the love that I used to have for her is not coming up now. I just don't feel it. And it has become the whole relationship thing has become stale, and I most of the time I'm just frustrated. I just don't understand what I am doing. And she also, is not reciprocating in the same way. So I asked him that, oh, on what basis, you both of you just came, in a relationship? There must be some flame, there must be some spark, at least. He said there was some, we were attracted towards each other. We decided that, oh, we can be in a relationship and these things grow. But the problem was that this whole relationship thing in this, both of them just remained at the level of attraction. They just didn't move up. So maybe they were not meant to be, but I would say that when you really love someone or be in a relationship, then attraction is the very lower part of this whole relationship thing. And because there is no rising in it, it's just limited to lust, or it's just the exploitation of the body, then no relationship can work. It will not work till the time we are not moving up from the body. First is the body, first is the attraction part, then there is the heart part. When we get connected with someone emotionally, with our hearts, then there is the final, the soul part. And once the souls are connected, once the souls somebody has literally loved someone in that way, then both the lovers also die. Both their identifications, both of them, they just die. Not in a literal way. Their whole notions about all kinds of judgments, they just die, and they die in love. And at that moment, only love remains, only the non-duality or the non-dual state, I would say. But this happens very, very, very rarely. So if you really want to be in a relationship, or if you are in a relationship with someone, start cultivating love. Because love is not, I would say, it's not that you really would, at a moment, you will need to make an effort, because our minds are not ready for it. There may be an initial spark, but if you don't provide the very fuel, the spark will blow out. It will not grow into a fire. So you must provide fuel at regular intervals, so that the fire of love keeps on burning, 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 burning. And once the fuel has the fire has become very big, then even the lovers will start burning up in a positive way. Because then their identifications, then their self-centered identities, limited selves will start falling down. They will surrender to love. They will not surrender to one another. They will surrender. It will look like that they are surrendering to one another, but they are not really surrendering to one another. They are not surrendering to the body or the soul. They are surrendering to love, both of them. So if you believe that you are in love, just test this whole thing, what I said, that are you really moving up from the body. And if you have reached to the level of hearts, then also you need to move up, because even at the level of hearts, there is a high chance that this whole thing may blow out. If it really doesn't blow out, you may feel that something is missing. There will always remain something, that why something, I feel something is missing, because you guys are not really evolving it to the very next level. And another thing is, I would say, when someone is in love, love just happens. It's very difficult to find a reason. If you are really loving someone for some reason, then understand that this is not love. This is just part of likingness, you love someone because you like them, or it's not like that. If you really love someone, it has to be reasonless, it has to be unconditional in that way. But just to come at that state, in that zone of love, it's really going to take an effort for most people. It's it really happens that you just meet someone and you feel that you have known that person for like forever, and you without even making an effort, you just start loving them. Even your mind is stopping, stop. It's so dangerous, because we are putting ourselves in a situation, we are becoming vulnerable, we are becoming so weak in front of them. But actually we are not becoming weak, though it may seem that for the mind that we are becoming weak, because mind is all about protecting our identifications, ourselves. That's why we lie so much, when we want to impress a person or a girl or any, we lie that I'm like this, I have these qualities. We are literally selling out ourselves. So don't do this. um, when you really love someone, just allow, just allow the love to take charge. Don't allow the mind, because whenever the mind comes, it just ruins everything. The mind always ruins everything. Love is the healing power. Love never ruins anything. So trust love and just move. And also, as I stated earlier, unconditional love becomes, the person who loves someone unconditionally, he becomes so fearless. So there is no fear of being rejected. There is no fear of being cheated, or these kinds of fears are just not not even an issue for them, because they become so peaceful within them, because this overflowing of love just makes them so powerful that they can withstand anything. So even the other is kind of, hurting them or even saying something, the one will not feel anything, who has in that zone, who is in that love. So this video was all about, what really it means to love someone, or what really love means. Just don't be in love, become love itself. And every person have that kind of capability to become love, because we are already that. We just have to literally kind of acknowledge and accept, um and be more humble in a way. But further, I would say that once you are connected with someone in a way, in a really soul connection way, things will happen on its own. The universe will make things to work in your favor. So it may seem to the mind that the things are not working out, that the things are just, we are becoming more weak. No, it's not like that. Whatever happens, it will help you in the long run. It will always be in your favor, because when there is unconditional love, it's the universe that is taking charge. It's the universe which is literally sending that love, which is making you more powerful, more enhanced. So just allow the universe to play on its own. Don't worry. The mind will always worry that, oh, I love this girl, I love this man. What will happen if he rejects me, or if she rejects me? How should I say to him? How should I express my feelings for him? No, no, no. Don't worry. You really don't need to worry, because if you really love someone, that love will really reach the other person, because that person is also love, right? That person is also the very manifestation of God. You will really don't have to make that kind of effort. When it's unconditional love, the love will take charge, and the love will guide you through every ups and downs. So if you feel that you have made a mistake, or if you feel that you have in a way hurt them, then just accept that and move on. Leave the mind behind, allow the love to take charge. When you just allow the love to take charge, everything happens just the way it is meant to be, and there will be peace. When you're moved by love, there is always peace. There is no contradictions, there is no fear. You are just allowing everything. You are just feel so peaceful. So if you are not feeling peaceful, understand that you are not really moving from the stance of love. You are moving from your mind. If there is peace, if there is clarity, if there is no fear, if there is no issue of loyalty, trust, or any kind of things, then you are literally moving from unconditional love. So just allow that love to overflow, allow that love to be. The other will feel that love. The other will feel that love. And the God, the universe will make sure that this happens. The universe always makes sure. Just trust the process. Allow everything. Just allow everything. Let love be your guide. If you really want to, if you really love someone, then just don't worry. Don't worry. Leave that. Universe will make sure that this happens. And when these kind of individuals meet, it's really a great moment, a great joy. They just spread, the kind of peace in this whole universe. So it's actually universe's play, I would say a play of God, that God is playing with himself in two different body minds. So if you are in a relationship, or if you think that you love someone, just test this whole thing that I said, and then you will realize whether you really love someone, or you are just at the liking state, or you are just attached with someone. Attachment isn't problem in normal relationships. When you are just like there is insecurities with attachment, there is always fear. But in love, in unconditional love, there is no fear, there is no attachment, there is just so much peace, so much freedom. And in this kind of love, both the individuals will grow. They will grow to their best selves. They will grow in the best kind of human beings. And when someone is really, in that unconditional love state, every person around them will feel that kind of love, because that love is not limited. Unconditional love is not just limited to a person. It is spreading itself in every direction. It's like a flower, a fully grown, bloomed flower, which is sharing its scents everywhere, without any condition, without any kind of limitations. So if you really love someone, then allow love to take charge. Don't be moved with your mind. Allow the mind to be guided by your heart. Mind be guided by love. And there will be so much clarity. There will be so much peace. Peace and clarity and fearlessness, these are the real traits of unconditional love. And then, of course, there is no attachment in this kind of love. So this is what I really wanted to say in this video. And if you really love your partner, then evolve become the best version of yourself, help the other to become the best version of themselves. This is the only way.